Good morning. I'm Professor No Tie, and here we have a speaker. The question we have for you is, what makes this speaker work? How does it function? In the next 3 sessions, I hope you as students will identify what do you know about speakers already, how they function, what do you need to know so that your knowledge level increases, teach each other those new bits of information, and then answer the question, how does a speaker work? Good morning. I'm Professor Bowtie, and today we're going to look at Chapter 3 in our required text on magnetism and electrodynamics. We will spend the next 3 hours looking at the fundamental principles, and then for homework we will be using those principles to solve the problem as to how a speaker works. Now let's start. Welcome to this video clip on problem-based learning. Many ask, what do you mean by problem-based learning? And our initial scenarios were to illustrate that. Professor Bowtie used the traditional approach, what we call subject-based. He elected and selected a text. He decided how to present the fundamental material, and he used problems to illustrate and synthesize and show people how they used it. Contrast that with our blue-shirted Professor No Tie. No standard text, indeed no text at all, other than the library. No lectures. All he did was pose the problem, what is a speaker and how does it work? The challenge now is thrown to the students, and they are empowered to ask and answer the following questions. Students must select what they already know that pertains to this particular problem. They need to identify what they need to know and set objectives and criteria. They need to learn this material and to teach it to each other. And then they have to apply that knowledge to solve the problem. Problem-based learning, then, in summary, is to use the problem to drive the student learning on a need-to-know basis. But how are we going to set it up in terms of student activity? Our approach is to use small group, self-directed, interdependent, self-assessed, problem-based learning. What a lot of words. Let's take them apart. Small group, we'll use groups of 5 to 6 students. Self-directed, they are going to decide what they need to know, not me. Interdependent, instead of independent learning, the students are going to depend on each other to teach each other the information. Self-assessed, they are going to monitor their progress and know when they have learned enough. And finally, problem-based. So it is small group, self-directed, interdependent, self-assessed, problem-based learning, our particular format. In our approach, in addition, we combine 3 different objectives in this activity. Our first objective is to use the problem-based learning to learn chemical engineering subject. The second activity is to empower the students with this self-directed learning skills or lifetime learning skills they are going to need in any subject knowledge that they need to learn. And finally, we would like to use this activity to enrich their skills at being a chairperson.